welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you a special story in English. This story is simple but also full of adventure, and it's perfect if you want to practice your English listening skills at the A2 or B1 level. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy this story with me. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Emma. She was 21 years old and she lived in a big city with her two sisters. Emma was a student at a small university, and she studied tourism because she dreamed of traveling around the world. She wasn't very rich, but she was full of energy, hope, and curiosity. Every day, Emma read books about different countries, cultures, and traditions. She loved dancing, listening to music, and writing in her diary. One sunny morning, Emma woke up earlier than usual. She looked out of the window and saw the clear blue sky. The city was alive with the sound of cars, birds, and people walking to work. She felt something different in her heart that day. She didn't know why, but she had the feeling that something special was going to happen. She quickly got dressed, prepared her breakfast, and made a cup of tea. While eating, she thought about her future. Will I really become a flight attendant one day? She asked herself. Will I have the chance to fly and see the world? After breakfast, Emma decided to go for a walk. She put her comfortable shoes and left the house. She walked down the busy streets, looking at the shops, cafes, and children playing outside. As she was walking, she saw a small bookshop at the corner. Emma loved books, so she couldn't stop herself from going inside. The shop was quiet, and the smell of old paper filled the air. She walked between the shelves, touching the covers of the books. Suddenly, one book caught her attention. It was called The Secret Journey. Emma opened the book, and inside there was a note. The note was handwritten and said, Dear reader, if you are reading this, you are invited to an adventure. Meet me at the old train station at 4 p.m. today. Trust the journey. Emma was shocked. She looked around, but the shop was empty except for the old man at the counter. She asked him about the note, but he only smiled and said, Sometimes books find the right people. Emma didn't know what to do. Was this a joke or was it something real? She left the shop with the book in her hand and walked home, thinking. Her sisters weren't at home, so she sat alone in the living room and read the first chapter of the book. It was about a young girl who left her city and traveled to discover hidden places. This story sounded so much like her own dreams. By the time she finished reading, the clock was almost 3:30 p.m. Emma's heart started to beat faster. Should I go? She asked herself. What if it's dangerous? But what if it's the adventure I always wanted? Finally, curiosity won. Emma packed a small bag with a bottle of water, her diary, and some money. She locked the door and hurried to the old train station. The station was quiet and almost empty. The trains were old and the paint on the walls was falling off. At exactly 4 p.m., she saw a young man standing near the ticket machines. He was holding the same book, The Secret Journey. He looked at Emma and smiled. Are you here for the journey? He asked. Emma nodded shyly. His name was Daniel, and he was a traveler from another city. He explained that he also found a note inside a book in a different bookshop. Maybe this is an accident, he said. Maybe we are supposed to go on this journey together. Soon, an old train arrived at the platform. It looked mysterious, almost magical. Without thinking too much, Emma and Daniel stepped inside. The train started moving slowly and they looked out of the window. The city disappeared and soon they saw green fields, forests, and mountains. Emma felt free, excited, and a little scared. The train journey was long, and inside the train there were a few other people. They all had the same book. Everyone shared their story about how they found the note. Emma realized that this wasn't just her adventure. It was a journey for dreamers, for people who wanted more than ordinary life. As the sun went down, the train stopped in a small village. It was a beautiful place with stone houses, flowers, and smiling people. Emma and Daniel left the train and started walking through the village. The air was fresh, and the sound of music came from the square. There was a festival happening. People were dancing, eating, and laughing. Emma felt like she was inside a dream. She joined the dance, forgetting all her worries. Daniel laughed and danced with her. They ate delicious food, listened to stories from the villagers, and even helped light lanterns that flew into the night sky. Emma wrote in her diary, "Today I discovered that life is full of surprises. Sometimes you just need to say yes to the unknown." The night ended, and Emma returned to the train with the others. She didn't know where the next stop would be, but she didn't care. For the first time in her life, she felt truly alive. From that day on, Emma's life changed. She understood that adventures weren't only in books, they could happen in real life too, if she was brave enough to follow them. She promised herself that she would never stop exploring, dreaming, and believing in the unexpected. And so her journey continued. Thank you so much for listening to this story. I hope you enjoy it and also learned some new English words and sentences. If you liked this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more English stories and practice. And tell me in the comments, would you like to hear more stories like this? See you in the next video. Bye bye.